Positive psychological capital is defined as the positive and developmental state of an individual is characterized by high self-efficacy, optimism, hope and resiliency. For decades psychology has been associated as dealing mainly with the treatment of mental illness, although other areas of research and application have existed since its origins. At the very end of the 20th century a new approach in psychology gained popularity: positive psychology. Positive psychology, the study of optimal human functioning, is an attempt to respond to the systematic bias inherent in psychology's historical emphasis on mental illness rather than on mental wellness. Seligman, 2002, mainly by focusing on two forgotten but classical psychological goals: help ordinary people to live a more productive and meaningful life, a full realization of the potential that exists in the human being. Since Martin Seligman, a former head of American Psychological Association, chose positive psychology as the theme of his presidency term, more empirical research and theoretic development emerged in this field. Two new branches of positive psychology are being implemented into the industrial organizational world. Positive organizational scholarship originated by Kim Cameron and colleagues is a research field that emphasizes the positive characteristics of the organization that facilitates its ability to function during periods of crisis. Positive organizational behavior (POB) originated by Fred Luthans, a former president of the Academy of Management, focuses on measurable positive psychological states that are open to development and have impact on desired employee attitudes, behaviors, and performance. Drawing from positive psychology constructs and empirical research, 4 psychological resources were determined to best meet the POB scientific criteria: hope, efficacy, resilience, and optimism, and were termed by Luthans and colleagues as psychological capital or CCAP and as an emotional capital. Gendron B. 2002, 2004. Emotional capital (EC), a capital in an economic sense, filling the gap of the Becker's human capital measurement approach. It brings outcomes and makes a bridge between outcomes from psychology and economics by taking into account soft skills as the socio-emotional competencies described in emotional intelligence models from Goleman, Chernis, Baron, Solovian, Meyer, Caruso, Sarni. Positive psychological capital, and heritage versus capital. In combination, the 4 constructs making up CCAP were empirically determined to be a second-order, core construct that had a stronger relationship with satisfaction and performance than each of the components by itself. The 4 components are defined as follows. Hope is defined as a positive motivational state where 2 basic elements, successful feeling of agency or goal-oriented determination, and pathways or proactively planning to achieve those goals, interact. Self-efficacy is defined as people's confidence in their ability to achieve a specific goal in a specific situation. Optimism was defined by Seligman by attribution theory, Fritz Heider, 1958. An optimistic person is defined as one that makes internal or dispositional, fixed and global attributions for positive events and external or situational, not fixed and specific attributions to negative events. Optimism in CCAP is thought as a realistic construct that regards what an employee can or cannot do. As such, optimism reinforces efficacy and hope. Resilience is defined in positive psychology as a positive way of coping with adversity or distress. In organizational aspect, it is defined as an ability to recuperate from stress, conflict, failure, change or increase in responsibility. The link with emotional capital (EC), filling the gap of Becker's human capital measurement. It's the economics approach of the psychological parts and behaviors skills of human beings, not innate but produced. Precisely, the emotional capital Gendron, 2004 relates to the set of emotional competencies defined on the emotional intelligence models and complete the human capital approach where such skills were missing in the human capital evaluation and returns. The emotional capital (EC) approach and concept is filling the gap of the Becker's human capital measurement approach. It brings outcomes and makes a bridge between outcomes from psychology and economics. Emotional capital is a set of resources, emotional competencies that inhere to the person useful for personal, social, professional and organizational development. Gendron, 2004 c. EQ is a crucial capital as it impacts people's learning processes, especially for children and young people at risk, enables their balanced human development, which participates to better social cohesion, smoother human relationships, their future successful life in the society and already to their school retention and success. Emotional capital has specific characteristics related to emotional competencies. Emotional capital is a crucial capital, more than an additional capital, it is also a booster capital. If social, cultural and human capitals are often complementary, Coleman, 1993, emotional capital has a particular place among them. It is first a catalyzer as it is essential for the constitution of the human capital. Indeed, human capital constitution might never happen if basic or appropriate emotional capital is not there. Only ad hoc emotional capital will allow human capital formation. Also, emotional capital is a potentializing, boostering capital more than a simple additional capital as it is essential for utilizing effectively the social capital and the better human capital the way it has been restrictedly measured as general knowledge and technical skills. EQ is a crucial capital as it impacts people's learning processes, especially for children and young people at risk, enables balanced human development, which participates in social cohesion, smoother human relationships, future successful life in the society and already to their school retention and success and as well as at work. In the work context, it improves the performance and well-being at work and especially when the managers have developed themselves the ad hoc emotional capital to be mindful and benevolent manager. Gendron et al. 2008, Gendron, 2015. CCAP has positive correlation with desired employee attitudes, behaviors and performance. A meta-analysis of 51 independent samples found strong, significant, positive relationship between CCAP and desirable attitudes, for example, satisfaction, commitment, and well-being, behaviors, for example, citizenship and performance, supervisor rated, and objective, and a negative relationship with undesirable attitudes, for example, cynicism, stress, anxiety, and turnover intentions and behaviors, for example, deviance. CCAP mediates between supportive climate and employee performance. CCAP and positive supportive climate are necessary for human resources in order to achieve stable organizational growth. Supportive climate is defined as a total support that an employee receives from their coworkers, other departments, and their supervisors which helps them with their job demands. High CCAP employees supports effective organizational change. Organizational change is defined as a lack of fit with the environment which intensifies as a result of a gap between the organizational goals and its present outcomes. The employees have the responsibility to adjust and behave according to the new strategy dictated by the management, mostly with fewer resources. During change, different aspects of employees' CCAP is put to the test. They have to learn new ways of behavior and be confident to do so, recover from the crisis, be motivated to cope efficiently and to believe in a better future. CCAP and positive emotions are examples of how personal factors facilitate organizational change. Positive change is defined as every change that the organization undergoes for its own benefit and has more positive psychological and behavioral consequences than negative ones. The role of positive emotions is that they help workers cope with the organizational change by broadening their point of view, encourage open decision-making and giving them essential vitality for their coping. This interaction means that CCAP, through positive emotions, influences the workers' attitudes and behavior, which in turn, influences the organizational change. CCAP can be developed. Both experimental and longitudinal research indicates the state-like nature of CCAP and that it can be developed and cause performance to improve. CCAP can be extended beyond work into other life domains such as relationships and health. Recent research has found that measures of relationship CCAP and health CCAP are related to both individuals' respective satisfaction appraisals and desired objective outcomes such as time spent with family and friend in the cases of relationships and cholesterol and BMI in the case of health. When combined with work satisfaction, these three are related to overall well-being. Now, after almost a decade of theory building and research, CCAP is widely recognized throughout the world and is being applied in positive leadership and human resource development and performance management programs in all types of organizations, businesses, health, education, military and athletics.